It is written in the book of Luke, chapter 4 and verse 6, And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomever I will, I give it. We were told slavery ended, taught in textbooks and documentaries that it was abolished. They marked it with dates and declarations. But let me tell you something. Slavery didn't end. It evolved. It rebranded. It became more sophisticated, more invisible, more internal. And here's the twist that hurt the most. It was never about black and white. That was just a smokescreen, a decoy. All of humanity was enslaved. One through chains, the other through illusions. See, this is the part history books refuse to touch, because it reveals the true crime, not just against one people, but against the entire human species. Yes, one group was enchained, whipped, bought, sold, dehumanized. That's undeniable. But the other was lied to, given false crowns, fed an identity rooted in superiority, trained to believe they were chosen, evolved, more civilized, more worthy. But listen closely. Superiority is just another shackle. It's a golden chain on the soul. Because to feel superior, you must cut off from the truth. You must be disconnected from source, divorced from compassion. You must shrink your humanity to elevate your ego. The system had to make one feel inferior and the other feel important. But both were pawns. One controlled through brutality, the other through false beliefs. One through external bondage, the other through internal blindness. And the wound runs deep, because the one who was made to feel less than absorbed generations of shame, of silence, of struggle. They inherited trauma as their tongue, pain as their posture. But the one made to feel greater than inherited delusion, inherited ignorance, inherited the burden of defending a lie they were never meant to carry. So now we have two broken mirrors, neither reflecting the divine human, only distortions of power. One walks the earth with open wounds, the other walks with closed hearts, and both are exhausted. Both are disconnected. Both are enslaved, not by each other, but by the system that engineered the divide. See, the original plantation wasn't just cotton fields, it was the mind. And the goal wasn't just labor, it was controlled. We've been taught to remember the chains, but forget the conditioning. And that's the greatest lie ever sold. Let's go deeper. In Luke chapter 4 and verse 6, the devil offers Jesus all the kingdoms of the world because it was given to him. But who gave it? What system are we living under? Because there are principalities and powers, but not the kind that wear suits or robes. These are ancient intelligences, parasitic forces, striving of fear, division, domination, and deception. These entities don't care about your skin color, they care about your frequency. They feed off disconnection, disconnection from source, from truth, from each other, from self. So they planted a virus, a spiritual virus called hierarchy, called supremacy, called worth through ownership, called divide and conquer, and they branded it civilization. So what does slavery look like today? It looks like working yourself to death in jobs that don't nourish you, to pay bills that never end for things you don't need, to impress people you don't even like. It looks like chasing degrees to be validated by a system that profits off your inadequacy. It looks like scrolling for hours consuming content that numbs your spirit and conditions your children. It looks like prison industrial complex, the food system, the education system, the banking system, the healthcare system that keeps you sick, the media that tells you who to fear and what to think. It looks like plantation after plantation. And we're the ones maintaining it. We're the ones that maintains it unconsciously, energetically, willfully, because the masters no longer need whips. They give us comfort, and they call it freedom. You want to know what capacity looks like? You want to know what captivity looks like? It feels like road rage at 7 a.m. It feels like anxiety in the checkout line, like panic attacks in silence. It feels like crying in the shower because your life looks successful but feels empty. It looks like substance abuse masked as celebration, numbness disguised as maturity, depression that whispers, "Is this all there is?" It feels like sickness, not just the body, but in the soul. Disease, inflammation, cancer, renal failure, autoimmune disorders, spiritual ailments expressing themselves biologically. It feels like choosing survival over joy, like walking around with invisible chains and calling them goals. The plantation today is neural, it's psychological, it's digital, and it's spiritual. Our minds are hijacked. We no longer imagine paradise. We no longer remember Eden. We don't dream in wholeness. We dream in status. We forgot we were divine, and we started acting like machines, predictable, productive, profitable, but not alive. Ask yourself this: who profits when you don't know who you are? When you hate your hair, your skin, your voice, your shape, your roots, when you fear your neighbor, when you compete with your brother, distrust your own intuition, when you worship icons and not essence, systems instead of source. Who profits when you doubt your own light? It's not you, it's not us. It's the system that was never built for soul freedom, only behavioral compliance. But here's the truth. You are not a slave. You are not a product. You are not a cog. You are a sovereign spark, a divine frequency in human form, encoded with memory, majesty, and mission. And though your chains were rebranded, your spirit has never been broken, because truth cannot be enslaved. It can only be forgotten. Here are 5 soul directives for breaking those invisible chains. 1. Remember who you are before they name you. Your identity was never your occupation, your title, or your trauma. 2. Starve the system that feeds on your self-rejection. Choose presence over performance, stillness over scrolling, creation over consumption. 3. Reclaim your imagination. If you can't imagine freedom, you can't embody it. Visualize wholeness. Breathe it into form. 4. Recognize the true war is spiritual. You are not battling people. You are confronting patterns, agreements, and energies. Pray, meditate, protect your field. 5. Build a new reality. One not based on domination but on dignity. Not competition, but compassion. Create systems that mirrors heaven, not hierarchy. They never freed us, family. They just taught us how to police ourselves. But now, we see it, we feel it, and we are rising from it. No longer pawns, no longer property, no longer programmable, because we remember, and in that remembering, we return. We return to truth, to power, to sovereignty. The chains may look different, but the soul, it was never theirs to own.